I think people are perverts. Perverts. Perverts.
Pervert. Alter something from its original course, meaning, or state to a distortion or corruption of what was first intended.
Perverts.
I agree. Yeah.
David Fincher is one of my favorite film directors. He's definitely in my top 5. I feel his movies have their own unique style. It always feels like I'm watching a huge blockbuster, but this huge blockbuster has characters with depth. David Fincher's father, Jack Fincher, wrote the script for this movie and presented it to his son David Fincher in 1992. I find it very interesting that this fiasco went on behind the scenes of the Citizen Kane movie, and the fact that David Fincher's father decided to write something about that, to me, is very interesting. It feels like David Fincher created this movie as it not only being a love letter to his father, but also a letter to Hollywood, having talking points aiming towards its golden era. Mank is a movie about a screenwriter from Hollywood named Herman J. Mankiewicz. I don't know anything about the behind the scenes politics, but the direction of this movie is about Mank, and he's a screenwriter in Hollywood. He's an alcoholic, and you can say that some people may find him hard to get along with or hard to work with. The way this film depicts the story is Orson Welles approached Mankiewicz to write the screenplay for Citizen Kane. There were articles that were released debunking Orson Welles' involvement in writing the screenplay, but then later on there was some more information released debunking the previous information, stating that Welles did have some contributions in the creation of various drafts of the script. Apparently, Herman J. Mankiewicz was close to William Hearst, who was a powerful newspaper tycoon at the time and also a producer of a lot of movies. It is speculated that Charles Foster Kane is based off of William Hearst. I don't think we get a lot of information or detail in regards to the relationship between Hearst and Mankiewicz in this movie, but I think what's presented here is interesting enough to hold my interest because Charles Dance gives a fantastic performance and Gary Oldman. And this is not the only focus of the story. The film goes into various topics. Overall, my verdict for this movie is it's great. This is a great movie. I love David Fincher's directing here, and I notice in certain scenes throughout the movie there were cigarette burns on the screen, and so I like how David Fincher implemented those old school methods of filmmaking, even though I don't think he shot this on those old school style cameras. He just implemented some effects in here, but I like those nice subtle touches. And then also you do hear some crackles and pops in the sound. So that doesn't hurt. It's a nice touch. It truly feels like I am watching an old movie. The performances all across the board were fantastic. Tom Burke plays Orson Welles. And if you are a movie lover, you know who Orson Welles is. He's an iconic figure. His voice sounds amazing. He sounds just like Orson Welles. And another character that stood out for me in this movie is Arliss Howard, who played Louis B. Mayer.
What makes me cry? Emotion. Where do I feel emotion? Here, here, and here.
The story was engaging. I found it interesting to learn about all of these fiascos that go on behind the scenes during film productions in Hollywood. Everything is not always as it's cracked up to be, which is what this movie reveals, I think, about film studios and film directors and what movies mean. This movie, if you're a film lover, may change your perception of movies, but if you are in the know, then you already know that movies are a business, and a lot of people make movies just to make money. And occasionally you have someone out there who does want to deliver a movie that has a message that means something. And that's a very rare thing, and it seems like the way Mankiewicz is depicted in this movie, he started off as a guy who just wanted to make a dime, but ultimately ended up being the guy that created a project that will be remembered for years to come. And he knew that, or he felt that, or he wanted to believe that.
Thunder, lightning, blood, fire, religion.
All in one film.
And with an unseasonal thaw, a sequel.